How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Robotics Notes Elite. Boy, oh boy, the last episode was fun. I guess I should mention and clarify, yeah, I do easily get spooked, but I did not think that I would get scared while playing a visual novel. I think what kind of happened in the last episode is, well, one, a ghostly figure was about, but also this visual novel is a little different from all the others I've played, where there's like 3D models and it's a lot more engaging. So I kind of just got overly immersed into the game, maybe. But yeah, if you guys didn't watch the last episode, definitely do that. At least the second half, I would say that was good fun. It really was. We got to figure out who the ghostly figure was, I guess like an AI, if you will, and the connection there with Sister Centipede. And that's going to come to light a little bit more here because we were given a report, a document of some sort that's now on our Pokecom. So we'll have to look into that, but it seems like the overall story plot here is going to be shedding some big light to us. By the time I return home from fishing, it's just before noon. Right now we're following, I believe it is Subaru's father, which I really don't know why. I've been getting home around this time for years now. A decade ago, I'd usually be back after noon. The reason is simple. Recently, the catches have been underwhelming. And compared to a decade ago, my earnings have fallen by almost half. After all that wasted effort, I find myself dragging my feet before sitting on the tatami mat. There's already a cold bottle of beer on the table for me. I always have a beer after returning from fishing. It's my daily custom. My wife is hurriedly preparing lunch in the kitchen. There's no sign of my parents who live with us. They must be working out in the fields. I take a pack of cigarettes out from my pocket for a smoke, but there's none left inside.
Oi! Tabako!
Hi!
The response from my wife in the kitchen is delayed. She sounds like she can't stop what she's doing.
はい。自分で取ってくる。
Irritated, I stand up and head to the shelf by the entrance where the carton is stored. On the way I pass by my son's room, the sliding door is open. For some reason, I stop. My son Subaru is at school around this time, so naturally he isn't in his room. Unless my morning fishing trip gets canceled, I never see my son during the morning hours. I'm concerned, as Subaru has been acting strangely ever since he went to Kagoshima at the end of June. He's been somewhat restless, unable to focus even. In particular, I've noticed that he's been avoiding making eye contact with me. When I ask my wife if she knows anything, she just gives me stupid answers like he's just at that age. As his father, I am a little concerned. After he graduates, it would be an issue if he didn't come fishing with me. He's inheriting my work after all. My wife wants to send him to college, but we don't have the money for that. That's why I'm especially concerned about my son's distant attitude. There was a time when Subaru was extremely rebellious. He said he wanted to go to university for robotics engineering, but I naturally opposed this fiercely. So since that's happened once before, I'm worried that he might say something ridiculous again. For reasons even I don't really know, I enter my son's room. It's a tidy and clean room with few personal decorations to speak of. In fact, it's so clean that I find it hard to believe it belongs to a young man his age. My son can be pretty responsible in some ways. He's completely different than me in that sense. He must get that from his mother. What am I doing snooping around my son's room? What am I, a jilted lover? What's the point of this? Subaru once made me a promise. He said that after he graduates, he would inherit my work. Isn't a father's duty to trust his son? I sigh and then begin to take my leave, but something's gonna catch his eye. Just then, a piece of paper sticking out of the textbook of on his study desk enters my line of sight. My son's room is tidy, so this one thing stands out like a sore thumb. It draws my attention. Without thinking too much, I pull the piece of paper out. It's probably the write-up that he did and gave to Akiho, but then she rejected it. I assumed it was a test sheet or something, but it wasn't. Yep, there it is. In my son's handwriting is a list of difficult words. almost like some kind of code. I'm a fisherman, so I ain't too educated. I have no idea what any of this says, but I do know that he's writing, or what he's writing about.
ロボットか。
Indeed. Well, can't access the Pokecom, but, yeah, that's gonna be a little interesting there. I sort of had a feeling that somewhere down the line, Subaru's father would find out, and there's gonna be some drama there, especially if Subaru does kind of like start fitting in really well with the club.
混乱に乗じて密かに緩やかに完膚なきまでに人類社会を崩壊させる計画が実行されてしまう恐れがあるのだ。
What the fuck is happening here? Daitoko-san is reading the text on my Pokecom screen out loud. I figured an urban legend maniac like her might know something. In the end, curiosity got the best of me and I read all of the Kimijima Report. Oh, here we go. This report will serve as a backup in the event that I am killed. Someone is threatening me. They are cleverly concealing themselves, yet I perceive a psychological and mental oppression against me. It is likely an assault from electromagnetic wave weaponry. I do not know when you are reading this. Perhaps the one world order has already been established by the time you are. We've heard something like that before. Nonetheless, it is likely that I will no longer be part of this world. I will impart here the truth should such an occurrence come to pass. NASA is hiding an important truth from the public and refuse to report it. And I should have read a little bit more there, but NASA was studying the sun's Antarctic circle and they witnessed an unexplainable occurrence in its magnetic activity. Magnetic monopoles, whatever that is, undeniably existed there, yes, much like those often explored in science fiction. However, NASA laughed it off, claiming it was fraudulent. They utilized the media to thoroughly broadcast propaganda all across the world, making people believe the partially leaked truth was a complete fabrication. This incident of information control was no doubt operated from behind the scenes by Tavistock. In the end, their propaganda succeeded. As of the current year 2009, the discovery of the monopole has been reduced to an urban legend. However, this is the truth. The sun is on the verge of producing several discharges. According to scientific evidence, there will be successive major solar storms that will occur in 2012, 2015, 2019, and 2020, all of which will severely affect the Earth and its magnetosphere. Yeah, I know what that is. If you believe this is to be a lie, I request that you look up at the night sky past the year 2012. If you do so, you will see auroras occurring all over the world. NASA holds detailed, incredibly grave data regarding the solar storm forecast, but will continue to conceal it due to external pressure from certain organizations. The solar storm in 2012 will be said to have never happened, and there will be several institutions that will utilize the solar storm as part of their terrorist plots. This can be expected particularly in 2015, which is when an extremely large solar storm will hit. Warnings are meaningless. It cannot be stopped unless they are prosecuted. Unbeknownst to the world, an unseen force from the sun will arrive and bring about a crisis on a global scale. No information will be provided. Many people will be left to die. But that is merely the trigger. Taking advantage of the chaos, a much greater threat will present itself. A secret project that will slowly bring about the collapse of human society in its entirety. The contents of the report struck me as something that Daitoko-san would be into. We got a tip there. Propaganda. Wow, I wonder what that is. And this is a lot of the stuff from the previous episode. I don't think any of this... Yeah, none of that sticks out as anything I don't know. I still can't access our Pokecom, unfortunately. Probably because it's being used.
なんかさ、妄想炸裂って感じがするわけよ。
でもオーロラのことについて書かれてあるけど、これ当たってるよ。
She's right, it did. Since 2012, the sun has been highly active. This made the aurora visible even at lower latitudes. If this file really was written in 2009, that means it accurately predicted what happened.
あと太陽嵐のことも。
あ、そうだよ。2015年だったよね。コンピューターとかが世界中で故障したのって。
Yeah, and there's still like a recovery that's trying to go on here. Not everything has fully come back from that incident.
15年クラッシュでしょ。でもレポートに書かれてる内容はこうだ。
Alright.
12年、15年、19年、20年に太陽嵐で深刻な被害が出るってね。実際には12年には大きな被害は出てないんだ。
Indeed, nothing happened.
2012年って私たちが子供の頃、結構話題になってたよね。マヤの暦が終わる年だったから、それと結びつけて地球は滅びちゃうんだっていう終末論をよくやってた。
Yeah, 2012 was actually really fun. I was still in high school. It was my sophomore year, I think. Yeah, I had just turned into my sophomore year, and I remember it was the end of the semester. So my friends and I were like, all right, end of the year, let's go.
2012年滅亡説を題材にしてね、ハリウッド映画なんかも作られたぐらいだし。
But nothing actually happened.
ちなみに今年はもう7月も途中だけど、太陽嵐のニュースとかって見た？
ない。逆に全くないっていうのがちょっと怖いかな。隠蔽されるってそのレポートにも書いてあるし。
どうかな。
Oh, I love text. Would it even be possible to suppress information from an organization like NASA? Oh, 100%. I feel like huge organizations like NASA could get away with things if they really wanted to. Though I guess giant organizations with immense sway are oft the subject of conspiracy theories. Yeah, that too. I mean, did the moon landing actually happen? I know that's a huge one. I'm sure there's a lot of other conspiracy theories that's always connected with like the government or large businesses, like underhanded things that went down, Squidward's suicide. Man, who knows? Yeah, as a dude living in the middle of nowhere, it all just seems like silly fantasy tripe. Oh, I feel that. The problem with conspiracy theories is that once you start questioning things, it never ends. Like an obsession, any trivial thing can be tied to a theory, a game theory at that. And at that point, it's just a delusion.
この短い文章の中に組織の名前がいっぱい出てくるよね。NASA とかタビストックとかとある組織とかテロ計画をしようとする組織とか。この中でね、とある組織っていう書き方はこの文章の性質を考えるとなんか変かもって思った。殺されるかもしれないからこっそり誰かに伝えるために残したものなら、これ告発文章でしょ。それなら情報はぼかさないはずだし。
確かにこれじゃ誰に向けて発信してるのか謎だよね。ちなみにさ、これを書いた君島光って人の名前に聞き覚えある？
Daitoko-san shakes her head horizontally in response. Her smile is somewhat strained.
聞いたことないかな。ごめんなさい。
I figured.
でもね、この文章の内容はよくわからないけど、ヤシオくんがこれを見つけた時の状況は面白いかなって。
Fascinating.
種子島のあちこちにそんな怪文書が隠されてるかもしれないんでしょ。
And this report is designated number 1, which means there could be a number 2 and beyond, or it was just named number 1 because there were plans to make more, but they ran out of time. Not that there's any guarantee of that.
探したくなっちゃうかな。
探してみたら、手がかりは女の子の幽霊だよ。
幽霊じゃなくてなんとかアプリだってヤシオくん言わなかった？
I think it introduced itself as a navigation interference app or something. I said interference, I meant interface.
何に
Whoopsies.
せよ、他のファイルがあるとしたら、その近くにはイルオでしか見えない女の子がうろうろしてる。
そう機会があったらなんとなく探してみるね。
Daitoko-san's smile is clearly forced. I probably shouldn't expect much. Oh, time for information?
どうも、今日もお綺麗で。
Yep, it's time for information. Mizuka-san gives me a bored look and then goes back to sorting sales slips.
スポンサー探しの件かい？それならめぼしいところは見つかってないから出直してきな。
Oh, that's right. I had her doing that too. I wonder how things went with the Space Candy Company. Has Akiho made any progress with the president?
その件じゃなくて、ちょっと聞きたいことがあって。
情報が欲しいなら分かってんだろ？
For just a moment, Mizuka-san's languid eyes regain their brilliance.
水香さんって本当にド S だと思う。
あんたは地元名物の特産品を買うことで地域振興の役に立ってるんだよ。立派じゃないか。
じゃあ水香さんも一緒に食べる？
嫌だね。
This woman is a demon.
でもこんなことのために苦しみたくないんだよな。とりあえずさ、聞くだけ聞いて判断してもらえないかな。
まったく口だけは達者になっちゃって。
Mizuka-san shrugs and stops sorting the sales slips.
言ってみな。
Nailed it. I'm leaning closer to Mizuka-san.
とある人物のことをなんとなく調べてるんだ。今回は水香さんも知らないってんなら、それ以上無理して調べる気はない。
もったいぶってるんじゃないよ。こっちは忙しいんだ。
How so? I'm literally the only other person in the store.
多分島の人間じゃないとは思うし、しかも何年も前に亡くなってるんだけど、君島こうっていう人聞いたことある？
Uh-oh. The very moment I say his name, all of the color drains from Mizuka-san's face, almost as if someone poked a hole in it. I've never seen her react like this before. I might be as shocked as she is. I was going to say, but I thought it only, that if the music just cut off like that, like, oh, yep, fuck. We hit the nail on the head in some sort of regard. Does she actually know this guy?
どこでその名前を。
I didn't fail to notice that Mizuka-san's lips were trembling slightly as she muttered this. Huh. Uh-oh. What's going on here? This is not the island. Oh, exoskeleton. We're following Misaki. The elevator door opens heavily. The office that I step into is deserted. The 17th floor of the Exoskeleton Company HQ in Aoyama is exclusively occupied by the Hug testing department. While I'm usually doing PR work on TV, my real occupation is as a test pilot for Hug prototypes. 3 million Hug units have been sold worldwide, but only a small number of the existing series models are for sale. Most prototypes never see the light of day, only undergoing repeated tests in the department. It's closing hours, so the lights are off in the test chamber. The pilots who work overtime are nowhere to be found. I already checked beforehand, but I take out my Pokecom anyway to reconfirm if there are still people left in the office. Things remain unchanged, which means there's only one person still here. I head straight to the section chief's room. The office door is wide open. I look inside the room to see Sawada sitting in his chair, looking at a monitor mounted to the wall.
失礼します。
I then step into the room. I close the door behind me. Yeah, it's this guy again. Sawada gives me a quick glance and then appears to point me to the monitor with a jerk of his chin. On the monitor, footage from the Robo 1 Grand Finals that took place a few days ago is being shown. But it's not the footage aired on TV, it's video taken from the venue's guest seats that day. He probably acquired it from someone in the audience. He truly is a cunning man.
見たか？
試合でしたら。
いや、彼の動きだ。
It's obvious which of the two operators he's referring to.
オンエア版ではオペレーターが映っていなかったからな。映っているものを探すのは骨が折れた。
おっしゃっていただければ私が手配しましたが。
必要ない。君は忙しいだろう。
I'm not surprised that there's going to be some eyes on the abilities that he was able to use, Kaito was able to use during the event. Obviously, he didn't want to use them. It's his attack. It makes him go through some pretty insane, I don't know, health conditions? I mean, his heart literally doesn't pump as fast as it, like, should. Or no, it is pumping faster than it should, actually. Akiho's the one that has the very slow heart pump.
それよりも彼だ。
Sawada points the pen he was fiddling with at the monitor.
やはり一時的にではあるが、常軌を逸した動きを見せている。あの時感じた違和感は気のせいではなかった。彼は異常だよ。間違いなくね。少なくとも人間技ではない。
その少年についての調査報告をまとめました。ご覧になりますか？
ずいぶん時間がかかったな。
どういう意味でしょうか？
邪推するつもりはない。報告を聞こ
う。データを転送します。
I fiddle with my Pokecom.
メール受信。
Sawada receives it and looks at his own Pokecom screen.
ヤシオカイト、現在18歳。2001年5月5日生まれ。鹿児島県種子島出身。職業は学生。9年前のアネモネ号事件の被害者の一人です。
ほう。
Sawada's sharp gaze pierces through me.
では、あの超人的な動きには沈黙の兵器が関係していると？
はい。ヤシオカイトの反射神経の急激な上昇は実験の後遺症です。
An experiment? And there we go. Time to go into phase 3. That didn't take too long, did it? That wasn't too long of a chapter compared to the first one. Again, it's kind of hard to tell because my episode lengths kind of, you know, heavily vary.
終わった。
Okay, I won't hide the fact that I stopped recording and just got back to recording here. I went to Applebee's with some friends to get a little snack and hang out, and man, I cannot recommend the pretzels. Those bitches be salty. But yeah, let's get back here to the story. My monthly custom oiling of Gun Build 1. Once I start, it takes about an hour of solid work. Maybe it's because it's hotter than last month, but I notice I'm soaked in sweat. Well, gee, that kind of lines up, doesn't it? Actually, I did maintenance in my school uniform last month, and Kai almost saw my underwear, excuse me. But I'm wearing my proper work clothes today, so I've got nothing to worry about. Plus, I can sweat all I want. I put the oiler back on the shelf. I pop open a lukewarm skull that's been sitting around for a few hours. That's gotta taste lovely. The wind is pretty strong today. My sweat cools me down, making me feel a little chilly. I lean up against the hangar wall and look up at the incomplete Gun Build 1. A lot has changed in a month. I went to Tokyo, did great at Robo 1, and got another person to join the club.
なのに、お前はちっとも変わってないね。
Still stored with his upper and lower bodies separate, Gun Build 1 obviously doesn't reply. I pick up the notebook sitting on the shelf and flip through its pages. This is the production notebook for the Gun Build project. You could also call it the last 9 years of the Robotics Club's history. Completion of Gun Build 1, as of 2019, stuck at around 70%. No new sections have been added after I became the president. The upper body section stands upright, but it doesn't have arms or a head, so it's basically just a big block of steel. The design on the chest kind of looks like a pair of eyes, which makes the whole torso resemble a face. The armor is pretty much complete. Most of the upper body is occupied by the cockpit, though I guess it'd be more accurate to say that the column-shaped cockpit is covered and hidden by the armor. The cockpit hasn't been wired up yet, so all it has is a seat with a backrest. Since they're not that important, the arms and head haven't been added yet. They're just decorative, they don't move. For the record, both arms are already complete. They've been carefully stored in a corner of the hangar for years. As a personal aside, we definitely have to reproduce Gunveryl's trademark scarf. But by my calculations, I'll need a long cloth around 7 to 8 meters in length, so it'll be hard on the budget. You know, the non-existent one. The lower body is lying down on the floor. The main section of Gun Build 1 isn't the upper body, it's this one. The greatest and sole function of Gun Build 1 is to walk, after all. His legs are extremely important. Although only the right leg is complete. It's supposed to have 6 servomotors, but I still only have 3, or servo motors. Nobody has corrected me on this yet, or told me what is the proper pronunciation. Unless somebody has and I totally missed it. That's why I can't build the left leg. Out of everything on Gun Build 1, those cost the most. The servo motors are too big, so they have to be custom made. By the way, the one making them for us is none other than Doc at the Robot Clinic. Well, who else would? That oldie but goodie is really skilled when it comes to these things. But I still haven't paid him back, which means I can't go there yet. If I showed up at the Robot Clinic without his money, he'd ice me in a heartbeat. Anyway, that's why progress on Gun Build 1 has been less than satisfactory. It's frustrating that I've barely had anything to add to the production notebook. I sigh and then look outside. The boys, Kai and Subaru, are playing with their hobby robot. They both have serious expressions on their faces. Looks like they have zero intention of helping me with maintenance. But in some ways, that's kind of refreshing.
結局この構図なんだよな。
It was this past spring when the Robotics Club dropped down to 2 members. I would be out of breath in the hangar, covered in sweat and oil, while Kai sat around happily playing games. Even though Subaru's joined the crew, nothing has changed.
そう変わってないんだよ。
Despite the last month being so eventful, nothing has changed at all. Are we really going to be able to complete Gun Build 1 before the expo? No. But then again, I wonder. A strong wind blows across the old airport apron. Here we go, we can finally get on the Pokecom. Kill Ballad patch version 4.01 information, second character balance patch is in the works. TBR tweaking, whatever the hell, or however the hell you pronounce that a bit. The others are a secret. My mind is going a little crazy from thinking about the Hug accident. It is unacceptable and they need to prevent it from happening again. I want Xcode to do full research on it. People getting hurt from robots is too sad. What happened? Did I miss something? Played 40 minutes, 9-0, taking a quick break. I hope Big Sis is okay. She should take a vacation and come back to the island for once. Misane is just too busy. Worrying about it here won't do a thing for her in Tokyo. She's tough. No, let's go with this one. Damn, we got a lot to read here. Should I go? What to do? This is us saying nice, I guess, for the update. My stomach is starting to hurt, I think. Feels the same as before a match. Alright, so regarding the Exoskeleton Company accident, it is very unfortunate. We don't need the A there, that such an accident occurred. Is Exoskeleton Misaki-chan's company? I wonder if she's okay. Hug is in trouble. Some robot doctor could have maybe fixed it. Need the people of Exco to do some maintenance correctly from the user's side. That's not cool. Fatal accident from a Hug malfunction. Are they hiding similar accidents that happened before? So, I don't want to side with them or anything, but I think it's worth to consider that technology is never going to be perfect. And while it is really, really good, I mean, have you guys seen the videos of Teslas and how the technology of the self-driving and all that is really cool? but at the same time has caused a lot of accidents. It's not going to be perfect. No technology will. Like, there's so much technology in the world that is to help us out, but it's not going to be perfect, and it will do harm. 100%. What? Didn't know hugs were so dangerous. I mean, if they sold 3 million units, 1 or 2 accidents are bound to happen. I think everyone is taking it too seriously. Yeah, I would say that. Do you know how many people die from car accidents? Don't bash hugs for 1 fatal accident. We're taking it too seriously when someone died. Are you stupid? After saying it's completely safe and having a super high maintenance fee because you can only let hug engineers touch it, and now this. Yeah, I can see the frustrations there. I mean, yeah, and you can also probably say, what the fuck? You could probably say that, yeah, it's it could be a user error, or like they did something. Close to 3 million people are using hugs, right? Having everyone stop using them is unrealistic. I wonder what Exco is going to do. I mean, if they have the information, they're going to go in. They're going to diagnose the shit out of that for damn sure. It's also like, well, one, they have to, but it's also not a cover up. They got to save face somehow. It's way too strong, causing M45 at my feet to shake and lean to the side. Subaru manages to support it with his hands before it topples over. I stretch out while still holding my Pokecom, vacantly gazing out at the runway. The sky to the west is dyed light orange.
スバルくんさ、
何ですか？
ロボワン3回優勝したんだよね。で、優勝賞金っていくらだった？
それぞれ500万です。
それどうしてるの？親に持ってかれた？
必要最低限の額だけ残して、他は寄付しました。
Oh.
え、そうなの？そりゃもったいないね。なんで？
まだ学生ですから。残りの管理もロボワン事務局に任せてます。M45 のパーツ代とか遠征費とかが必要になった時に事務局に連絡して引き出してるんです。
ストイックだね。職人かたぎか。でもなんか事務局とべったりとも取れるけど、実はひいきしてもらってたりするんじゃないの？
そう思いたければどうぞ。
冗談だよ。
I of all people know how skilled he is after our match.
しかし喉乾いた。スバルくんさ、ちょっとコンビニまでひとっ走りしてジュース買ってきてくれない？俺フルーツサワーメロン、あとアキちゃん用にスコールも。
お断りします。
可愛げのない後輩だな。
先輩面しないでくれますか？そういう前時代的な上下関係はヘドが出ます。それに僕はロボ部に望んで入ったわけじゃありませんから。
Oh, we're aware. Everyone is aware.
冷たいジュースを飲みたい気分でしょう。自販機が近くにあればな。ほんと不便な場所だよ。
僕にとっては理想的な環境ですが。
本気で言ってる？
ええ。こんなに広くて人がいない場所はね。今まではこそこそ隠れて M45 をメンテしていたので。
Oh, I feel like things are gonna really come to light on Subaru here. Maybe not this chapter. If not this chapter, then maybe the next?
マスクマンは大変だね。
Although he might have reasons beyond that.
ちなみにさ、こいつ全然動かないんだけど。
For some time now, no matter how much I've tinkered with my Pokecom, M45 has not budged. Since the day before, Subaru has been trying to implement the KB control scheme into M45.
プログラムのどこかにミスがあったか。
さすがに1日じゃどうにもならんでしょう。俺にテストプレイさせるならさ、もうちょっと洗練させてから持ってきてよ。
昨日、種子島新さんのプログラムを真似て作ってみようと思ったんですが、これは中途半端な知識では難しいかもと思い始めました。
ブレアデス君ともあろうものが弱気じゃないか。
僕はソフト屋じゃありませんからね。どちらかといえばハードの方が得意なんです。
Yeah, like, I don't know. I can't get into the specifics. I'm like, I've graduated with my degree, but I've also stepped away from programming. I don't know. I mean, I've followed code that I didn't write up myself or don't know how to write up before to understand it, or at least the gist of it. I get the logic out of it, let's go with that, and understand functionality, what the functions do, where they're sending their information back and forth, where data is being stored, what have you. The basics. But whenever I write something based off of shit I don't really understand, it can become a little funky. It's hard to completely mimic all the logic.
それ言い訳？
Well, that's just me.
キルバラの操縦システムを再現できないって言うなら、俺は降ろさせてもらうよ。
I know. We all know. I make my intent clear and Subaru bites his lip frustrated.
やはりフルゴーリと話をつけるしかないか。
ヤシオくん。
Hello.
お？
I hear a voice I was not expecting and turn around to find a tiny girl standing before me. When our eyes meet, she bows slightly.
こんにちは。
ああ、やっぱりちっちゃい。
She really is when you think about it.
ああ、いや、なんでもないよ。それより、大徳さんはどうしてこんなところに？
この前、ヤシオくんが言ったんだよ。一度でいいから顔出してって。
もしかして、ロボ部入るの？
そういうわけじゃ。ただ、受験勉強するのって嫌になるよね。
Daitoko-san has a bashful expression on her face.
それについては 100% 賛成するよ。
Man, I didn't think she'd actually show up. She must really have a lot of free time now that she's retired from the karate club. This is my chance. When I forced Subaru into the club, I figured that he'd help Akiho here and there, leaving me as free as a bird to game. Yet somehow I ended up getting stuck playing hobby robots with him. Hell, I can't even keep an eye on Akiho at all or all that much now. I guess I screwed myself. But if I have this stray little lamb watching over Akiho, I can at least relax a little. Though she seems a wee bit unreliable. But hey, since she did karate, she should have solid reflexes. I might even be able to make her take my place as Gunbuild 1's pilot.
じゃあ大徳さん、心ゆくまでロボ部の活動を見てってよ。
I made it sound all grand and stuff, but we aren't actually doing much as a club. Subaru shows less than zero interest in Daitoko-san as he packs M45 away.
スバルくん、大徳さんに挨拶したら、仮にも君より上級生なんだからさ。
どうも。
Subaru briefly glances at Daitoko-san and then bows his head slightly.
彼はロボ部期待のホープ、2年の日高スバルくん。先週入部したばっかり。
大徳です。
Well, this is awkward. He has zero social skills. I think it's just pretty much zero interest. Why even bother if there's nothing to gain? At least Akiho knows Daitoko-san. I'll just have to leave things to her. I'm about to call into the hangar when a strong gust of wind blows by. Despite the fact that she does karate, the wind causes Daitoko-san to lose her balance.
ここ、遮るものが何もないから風強いんだよね。
大丈夫。でも、広いね。私、この空港、久しぶりに来た。
Normal people don't really tend to visit closed airports.
滑走路で寝るのがおすすめ。ただし、今の時期は昼間に寝ると死ねるから気をつけて。
なんだか気持ちよさそう。
What, dying? No sooner than I hear a shout, Akiho comes dashing out of the hangar. She looks back and forth at me and Daitoko-san's faces like she's panicking.
ついにどっちか告白しちゃった？
あきちゃん、何くだらないこと言ってんの？
じゃあ、なんで？
Daitoko-san curls up, but I urge her forward.
ロボ部の見学に。そうなんだ。そっか、そっちか。
Akiho's smile covers what seems like her entire face as she grabs both of Daitoko-san's hands firmly.
ようこそ、歓迎するよ。ハンガーの中、覗いてってほしいな。ガンツクワンを見たらね、きっとびっくりするよ。お邪魔じゃなければ。
Oh yeah, we gotta keep in mind that she has a little bit of a fear of like robots and shit.
全然、ぜひ見てて。それでロボ部に入ってくれると嬉しいな。
もうね、最近そっちの男子2人がうちのこと無視してホビーロボでばっかり遊んでるんだよ。あ、ホビーロボっていうのは今スバルが片付けようとしてるちっちゃいロボのことね。でね、男子は男子で勝手にやってるから、大徳さんが入ってくれればうちも女子連合軍を作れるわけ。
軍って誰と戦ってるんですか？
男子。
くだらないですね。
Subaru coldly spits out his words and then starts messing with the program source code on his Pokecom attached to M45. And there he goes off to his own little world. Dude just follows his own path.
もしかして私怒らせちゃった？
Nope, that's just how he is.
いつもあんな感じだから気にしないでいいと思うよ。
ええ、気にしないでください。
ねえ、そんなことより大徳さん、今日この後一緒にロボクリニックに行ってくれない？
なんで？
パーツを加工するのにさ、あそこの設備をどうしても使わなきゃいけなくて。でもうち実はドクから借金踏み倒し中なんだ。顔合わせたら確実にひねり殺されちゃう。
ひねり？
というわけで、孫の大徳さんを盾にすればなんとかなるかなーって。
Didn't you try this exact same strat before Robo 1 and fall on your face?
アキちゃんには卑怯者という称号を送るよ。
無理だから。
Daitoko-san enters full rejection mode. Her eyes are filled with tears as she desperately shakes her head from side to side.
お邪魔しました。私帰るね。
嘘ロボクリニックのことは嘘だから行かないで、見学してって
はあ
Good grief. Could Akiho be any worse at trying to persuade people? Well, I was gonna say, like, hey, we got a new member, but no, we're not there yet. Alright, what do we got new here? Played almost 1 hour while side-eyeing the club Prez 12-1. Hungry, but gonna live off water because I have nothing to wear. That's a lie, you have the clothes you wore on the plane. That's why you're staying in. What's wrong with city folk? I can bring Pocky or something? You'll still starve off water. Let's go with this, because that is true. New member joined, that makes it 4 people. Hype. I don't think she's joined quite yet. And that is all that is new. Okay. Anything that we can see here? Actually, yeah, we've never looked around here. So we have the general store, beverage corner, ice cold. And maybe something if we zoom into all these various locations, maybe. And I was wrong. There's nothing else to obtain. God dang it. Hey, at least I'm not getting scared opening up my camera anymore. Remember that? That was fun. Akiho ends club before sunset and then decides to hold a welcome party at the Irie General Store. Sorry. Ooh.
それじゃあ新入部員のスバルとジュンを歓迎して乾杯。
乾杯。
乾杯。
So has she, like, officially joined? I'm actually impressed by how uncoordinated that was.
スバル、あなたのこと歓迎してるんだから少しはありがたがってよ。
別に頼んでませんから。おごってもらって感謝はしていますが、これを飲んだら先に帰らせてもらいます。
He then put some distance between himself and us, drinking his bottle of barley tea.
相変わらず可愛くない後輩だな。
I see that we are going with the Dr. Pepper on this one, but I have no idea what Scowl is supposed to reference.
ほら、ジュンは遠慮せずにグビッと言っちゃってよ。グビッと。
まるでおっさんだね。
And when exactly did she start referring to Daitoko-san as June? The long and the short of it is that Daitoko-san joined the Robotics Club today after visiting. As I expected, Daitoko-san is helplessly weak when it comes to being pressured.
で、大徳さん、見学してみてどうだった？
楽しかったよ。楽しかったけど、まさか 今日のうちに入部してるなんて自分でも思ってなくて、
Yeah, me neither.
なんかびっくりしてる。
I would also say that I am surprised.
アキちゃんが拝み倒してたからな。
Satisfied with herself, the president sips her scowl.
ロボ苦手って言ってたけど、あのでかいロボは平気だった？
あ、多分大丈夫。大きいのはまだ完成してないからだけなのかもしれないけど、でも小さいのは可愛くて平気だったよ。
その話うちもさっき聞いたんだけど、ロボが苦手っていうよりね、ジュンの場合は特定のデザインの等身大ロボだけが苦手なんじゃないかな。具体的に言うとどこのところにあるロボね。
アキちゃん見たことあるの？
Akiho shakes her head.
ロボクリニックに開かずの扉があるのが気になってたんだ。きっとあの中にあるんだよ。
開かないならもうそのままにしておいた方がいいと思う。
でも気になるじゃん。ロボクリニックって名乗ってるぐらいだからさ、人体を改造してロボにしちゃってたりして、あの倉庫に保管してあるロボは全部人間の脳を移植されてて、夜な夜な苦しみにうめく声が。やめてよ。
Yeah, I think her imagination's going a little too far here.
ああ、泣かした。
なんて嘘。ドクはいい人だよ。ケチだけど。
You're one to talk considering you haven't even paid him back for the parts.
大徳さんさ、俺もこれからジュンちゃんって呼ばせてもらうけど。
どうぞ。
ジュンちゃんこの前宇宙が丘公園に行ってからレポート探したりした？
なんかちょっと怖くて。
何？
See, I can't even talk shit because I was scared too.
幽霊の正体。
何それ？
宇宙が丘公園に幽霊が出るって噂があったの。
俺とジュンちゃんの間では解決済みだけどね。
へえ、幽霊が出るなんて初めて知った。
Well, you're always doing your own thing. And it's always the same exact thing that, well, frankly, Kaito just does not give a shit about. Her information gathering skills must be weak.
でもどうせあれでしょ。その幽霊実は貝でしたってオチでしょ。日が暮れてからあそこの公園でいっつもゲームばっかりやってるもんね。
まあそういうことにしとくよ。今度ジュンちゃんから詳しく聞けばいい。
It's too much of a pain in the ass to explain.
じゃあさ、ジュンちゃん、ピーガー音の正体の方はその後進展あった？
Daitoko-san, Junna slumps her shoulders.
わかんないかな。
It's gotta have something to do with Irie. It was way too dark to venture into, but I bet there's something on the first floor. There has to be. I mean, the fact that there was like a smashed like hole enough to fit the arm through in order to unlock your way in. I mean, I don't know. Something is going on there for sure. I feel like there's no mistaking it, but I really don't need more trouble, which is why I don't intend on investigating myself.
でもね、
But I feel like we might someday.
ヤシオくん、この前言ってたでしょ。46秒間のフリーズ。
それニュースでやってたよね。うちもあの時ポケコン固まったよ。
Yep, it was a bug-like phenomenon that occurred all throughout Japan. The cause is supposedly under investigation, but there's been no follow-up.
似たような現象起きてないかなって調べてみたの。そしたら過去にも結構起きてて、例えばこれは東京限定でのことなんだけど、何百万人っていう人数のポケコンに全く同じタイミングで
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
一斉にメールが届くって現象が続発したんだって。
Hey, yo. Exactly the same, eh?
同じ人が発信してたりして。
個人じゃなかったみたい。緊急地震速報ってあるの知ってる？
知ってる。地震が起きる直前になるんだよね。
あれと同じ原理なんだって。一定のエリア内にいる人だけにキャリア会社がその情報を一斉送信するの。
じゃあ緊急地震速報だったんじゃ。
キャリア会社はそれを送ってないの。あれを物理的に送ることができるのはね、キャリア会社だけなのに。だから誰がどうやって送ったのか今も分かってないんだって。警告音は緊急地震速報のものが使われてたらしいんだけど、届いた内容がちょっと怖くて、カゴメカゴメの歌詞だったの。
What the hell is that?
カゴメどういう
Oh no. No, wait a minute. Junna lightly nods.
それが1ヶ月くらいの間に10回も20回も来たらしくて。
それいつの話？
Junna gulps as if she's hesitant to answer, and then turns her gaze to me. What is it?
2012年の9月と2015年3月。
Huh. Those years do stand out now. I know I've seen those dates recently, but where? Our lovely report. The Kimijima Report. No, there's no goddamn way. It'd be ridiculous to force that connection. This is just a coincidence. If this is the only point that matches up, then it's not a big deal. Now, if it was like 10 or 20 different things, that'd be another story. There's no way that dead guy's delusion-filled testament is the real deal. Silence. The road in front of my eyes, the only national highway on the island, should have more cars driving by at this hour. But there are none. The silence surrounding us is deeply discomforting.
さっき話していた46秒間のフリーズですが。
Oh, I'm glad you're joining in on the conversation here. Oddly enough, the one to break the silence is Subaru, who up until now added nothing to the conversation. For someone who said that he was going to leave soon, he seems to be enjoying hanging around.
電波障害ではなく、イルオの不具合が原因かもという議論もあります。
そうなんだ。
追放で、そっち関係に詳しい学者とか専門家が独自に調査してるみたいで、イルオは今や全てのポケコンにプリインストールされてますからね。その不具合となれば、当然日本中の全員に起きるわけです。
それってイルオを削除しちゃえば不具合も起きなくなるのかな。
さあ、そこまでは。原因はまだ確定はしてませんから。
I mean, when something is pre-installed on a system, there's a possibility, not necessarily all the time, that there's going to be some remaining files and maybe even services that run in the background of your system that are connected to what you uninstalled that came pre-installed on your system. So, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that that's the case.
じゃあ僕は帰りますんで。ジュースごちそうさまでした。
Subaru says that without making eye contact with any of us. He then gets on his scooter and zooms off. It happens so fast that we don't have time to react.
Kai.
It's then that Mizuka-san pokes her head out from the store and beckons me over.
ちょっと。
There are no customers inside the store.
ジュンってさ、子供の頃どんなアニメ見てた？
サザオエさんとか、キテレツ百科事典とか。
Okay, those are probably references. Let's check them out. So, Kid Retsu's Book, a popular anime based on a manga by nationally renowned manga artist Fujiko Fujio. The story is about the son of a line of great inventors who solves problems with a mechanical doll he created. Ever since it was first aired back in 1988, reruns of the series have been incredibly frequent, with some stations restarting from episode 1 as early as a week after the final episode finishes airing. And Sazawe-san, an anime based on a 4-panel manga that airs at 6:30 p.m. on Sundays, an extremely popular show nationwide. Even though the show has been airing for over 50 years, it still boasts an average of 20% of its viewers watching it live. And, well, we know about the Maya. I mean, again, 2012, you know, that's when the world's ending. And we know what latitude is.
うわ普通
I can hear Akiho and Junna talking outside through the window behind the register. Mizuka-san quietly closes the window.
水香さんのハグは大丈夫？
ああ、暴走事故のこと？なんで知ってんのさ。
Twitter.
ネットじゃその噂で持ちきりだよ。あ、いやごめん。ちょっと大げさに言った。
エグスケの人間は大丈夫だって言ってたけどね。
Mizuka-san shrugs her shoulders a little. She doesn't seem to be concerned.
昨日、宇宙が丘公園に行ってきたよ。
そうですか。
I instantly know what she's implying. This is about Kimijima Report and Airi.
どこでその名前を。
The day before yesterday, when I casually mentioned Kimijima Report, Mizuka-san was very clearly shaken up, but then we kind of just jumped out of that whole scene there.
で、会えた？
いや、
And then I went to Applebee's. Mizuka-san then shoots a sharp glare at me.
あんた、私を担いだりしてるんじゃないだろうね。
まさか。
Why is she so skeptical?
水香さんを騙すような真似したら後が怖いってことはよーく知ってるからね。人のせいにする前に水香さんこそちゃんとポケコン持って行ったわけ？あれがないと愛梨ちゃんは見えないよ。
持って行ったさ。
買ったの？
That's unexpected. Mizuka-san constantly proclaims that she's an analog girl who doesn't have a Pokecom despite its 90% adoption rate here.
ミッチーに借りてね。
あ、そう。
3時間くらい粘ってみたけど、どこにもいなかった。
Kimijima Ko. And the reason why just mentioning his name was enough to shake Mizuka-san. I heard all about it the day before yesterday.
どこで
え？
どこでその名前を。
何か知ってるわけ？
答えな。どこで君島の名前を。
宇宙が丘公園。廃墟の郷土館の中にさ、君島こうって人が書いたらしいテキストデータがあった。
テキストって何さ。
テキストもわかんないの？穴黒人間すぎでしょ。
カイ、今ここでパッションフルーツマンを2個連続で食いたいらしいね。
いや、勘弁してよ。テキストデータは要するに手紙みたいなものだって。
I hurriedly bring up the Kimijima report on my Pokecom. Mizuka-san snatches it away from me and reads through the report, her expression deadly serious.
アイリっていう女の子を見たことは？
Oh, of course.
ああ、ある。水香さん、やっぱなんか知ってるでしょ。
知ってるよ。と言っても、そのレポートに書いてあるような小難しい話じゃない。10年くらい前、私はアイリと会ったことがあるのさ。
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have a feeling that, well, back whenever they were all in high school, they probably had their own moments here, which means that there's a connection. There's a connection with everybody here, including Akiho's sister.
10年
But
前。
that one's obvious. Mizuka-san's eyes look distant, as if she's remembering the past. But there's no smile on her face, no sense of nostalgia. If anything, she looks kind of lonesome.
私がまだ高校生の頃で、アイリはミサと友達だった。
Ah, lovely.
君島こうもね。
Oh, okay.
え？
I was shocked when I heard all of this the day before yesterday. The last thing I expected was for Airi and Kimijima-ko to be friends of Mizune. But at the same time, it wasn't all that surprising. Uchigaoka Park is close to both my home and the Senomiya's house, after all. The three of us would often play at the park when we were kids.
もう一度教えてくれないかい？どうやればアイリを見ることができるのか。
宇宙が丘公園って言っても広いから、行けば絶対に会えるってわけでもないと思うよ。どうもあいつ勝手にフラフラ動いてるらしいし。でも運よく近くにさえいれば。
I boot up Iro on my Pokecom to make things a bit easier to explain.
イルオっていうソフトにちゃんと姿が映るはず。
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Why? I should have expected that shit. God damn it. Fuck. I don't even know what to say. God damn it. I can call myself a pussy all I want, but like, is this even entertaining for you guys? For a second, it felt like my heart stopped beating.
今あいつ
どうした？
Why? Why is she here? I look around the store through my Pokecom. I'm not going to get scared this time. I'm expecting it. I wasn't expecting it there, but I don't see her anywhere. I should have, though. I really should have expected her. Was I just seeing things? Or perhaps Irie has been following me around. Well, since we're looking this way, any geotags? Anything on these products? These snacks and groceries of sorts? No? Alright. Maybe there was another Irie here at the general store from the get-go. Either way, the fact that I only saw her for a split second makes her feel like a real ghost.
いや勘弁してくれないかな。
You know what? Fuck what I said at the beginning of the session where, like, it's probably because, 3D models and immersion with all the, engagements that you can jump into with this one. No, it's just that she just pops up like that, and I just don't expect it. And yes, if I didn't make it... Why are we back here? If I didn't make it clear, I don't like ghosts at all. And here we are, back here again. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done recording for tonight. It is actually past midnight, so I quite literally went to Applebee's at like 11 p.m. I have no control over my actions. I just choose to have fun, which means I probably have control over my actions. But again, don't get those pretzels. They kind of suck. But yeah, thank you all for watching this episode. I think we are on an interesting path now. Things are getting truly interesting in a variety of ways. It's still, peaceful, chill, slice of life-ish with the club. And at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of like working in the background. And sometimes, like now, it kind of comes to the foreground, which is totally fine by me. Now, something I am very curious about is what is Misaki? That's her name, right? Akiho's older sister. What is she up to? What is she trying to accomplish? She's straight up selling us out, giving away information about us. I don't know. I mean, there's some sketch going on for sure. And, well, now we're going to have eyes on us if we haven't already. So things, I'm sure, will eventually be picking up. For sure. Thank you all for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And if you guys like Applebee's, again, just skip the pretzels. Like, they're the big ones. They're just so goddamn salty. And, man, I just feel sick. So now I got to, like, watch my sodium levels. So while I do that, you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, whatever. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode when I actually don't end up going to Applebee's midway through. Take it easy, guys.